Right. Excuse me. All praise, glory, and honor is most certainly due to the Most High. The God of the patriarchs, Abraham, and Jacob, peace to you in the name of the Son. I count it always a blessing each and every single time that I can come before to preach the word of God. Never count it as a light thing to do so. And I'm going to tell you right now, my voice sounds funny, or if I'm sneezing, I have allergies. And I was at the church doing some work outside, and as usual, and it was really bad today. So as far as, excuse me. So, don't look at him like that. I got COVID. No, I'm just, my allergies are really bad. Okay. And I usually wear a mask anyway, anytime I'm even cutting the grass. And today I didn't do that, and I feel it really bad. Okay. But that don't matter. I just want to put that out there, because just in case, you're looking and saying, okay, this brother sneezing up a storm. All right. So we want to pick it up, and well, let me tell you the lesson first. Excuse me. And the title of this lesson is, how do you know he's the Messiah concerning Jesus? How do you know? People say, they say his name, they claim he's the Savior, but how do you know? Peace to the brother Isaiah, brother Joseph, brother Josh. Peace to you. It's good to see you there. How do you know he's the Messiah? Brother Michael, peace to you. It's good to see you there, brother. Well, he's the Messiah, not because of what your parents told you, not because of what you may have heard your grandparents tell you, or it's none of that. It's because of what's written. That's how you know who he is. So I want to I'll probably do a couple parts on this, and this is the first part on this. So let's pick it up, and let's see. Peace to you, brother Noel. It's good to see you there, brother. I want to pick it up in the Gospel according to John. Peace, Sister Jacqueline, as well. Peace to you. John, Gospel according to John, chapter 1, excuse me, and verse 41. John 1 and 41. Because here he has his first disciples. Okay. And let's see what they said. This is John, because they were looking for one, but they were looking for one according to something. Peace to you, MC Israel. This is John 1 and verse 41. It says, he first findeth his own brother Simon. Well, actually, let's pick it up a little earlier. Just to give you, and the two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Jesus. Okay, because John the Baptist, Jesus turned and saw them following and said, what seek ye? They said unto him, Rabbi, which is to say, being interpreted, Master, where dwellest thou? He said unto them, come and see. They came and saw where he dwelt, and abode with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. One of the two which heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own Simon, and said unto him, we have found the Messiah, okay, the anointed one, which is being interpreted the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus, and when Jesus beheld him, he said, thou art Simon, the son of Jonah. Thou shalt be called Cephas, which is by interpretation a stone. The day following Jesus will go forth into Galilee, and findeth Philip, and said unto him, follow me. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Now listen to what he said, though. This is verse 45, and this is key. It reads, Philip findeth Nathanael, and said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. See, they were looking for one. They were looking for one based on what the prophets told. So he took them all. He said, we found the one that Moses was talking about. Well, let's see what Moses said. This is the book of Deuteronomy. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. This is Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter, and verse 15. Because here Moses tells you, many years prior to this encounter that he had with his first disciples, He said, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Meaning he's going to be like just like him. And when you look at their lives, they do parallel. For example, there was genocide of the male children when they were both born. Both were meek. You can go on and on, but that's actually another lesson. But that's why he says, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken or listen. Okay? So they took it back to the prophets. Okay? And that's what you have to do when you're talking about or you're asking the question who the Messiah is. You go back unto the prophets. Let's go back into the New Testament and let's pick it up and let's go to Luke, the 24th chapter. Luke 24. Because even Jesus, he had to tell his disciples even that he died, because they didn't quite understand that he had to die. But if they would have truly understood the scriptures, they would have known that. And that's what he tells them here. This is Luke, the 24th chapter, and verse 13. And this is after the death and resurrection of the Mashiach, of the Messiah, of the Christ. It says, and behold, two of them went that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 80 furlongs. And they talked together of all these things which had happened. And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Jesus himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were holden that they should not know him. And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that ye have one to another as ye walk and are sad? And the one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering said unto him, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass there in these days? And he said unto them, what things? They said unto him, concerning Jesus of Nazareth, which was a prophet mighty in deed and word before God and all the people. Okay, so he's appeared to them. They don't recognize him. And yet they're talking about him and they still don't understand. And it says, and they say, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And beside all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the women had said, but him they saw not. Then listen to what he said to them. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. He took them back to the prophets. You don't understand because you're not looking at what was told. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? All this was foretold. If you would have read the prophets and understood what they were saying, you would know this. Peace to you, Brother Willie. It's good to see you there. Then he goes, and what does he say? He said, it says in verse 27, and beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. So you know who he is because of the scriptures. He took him back to Moses. Even when you look at Genesis, you don't have to get very far to find Jesus. Okay? He's all throughout Genesis. So let's go to 2 Peter and see what the Apostle Peter had to say. Cephas, the one he called a stone. Let's see what he had to say concerning the scriptures and which contain the prophecies. This is 2 Peter, the first chapter, and I want to pick it up at verse 15, because here he recalls the transfiguration, where the Messiah was transfigured right before him, and he saw him there, and he's recalling the transfiguration, okay? But it's key because he says something even greater than what he saw with his own eyes, because he's telling you why he believes. This is 2 Peter 1 and verse 15. He said, moreover, I will endeavor that ye may be able after my decease to have these things always in remembrance. For we have not followed cunningly devised fables. See, we're not following lies. It's very easy to prove that this book is real. So he said it's not about some fables, right? When we made known, so he says in verse 16, I'll start that over. He said, for we have not followed cunningly devised fables, when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. See, he's talking about the transfiguration. He was transfigured before them. He said, for he received from God the Father honor and glory, when there came such a voice to him from the excellent glory. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. And this voice which came from heaven, we heard when we were with him in the holy mountain, or the holy mount. But even above that, even above what they saw, and experienced at that, he says in verse 19, we have also a more sure word of prophecy. See, the prophets, prophetic scriptures are exalted above even this experience. He said, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed as unto a light that shineth in the dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in the old time by the will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. That's how it came. Okay, so it's something that even though they saw the transfiguration before them, Peter, James, and John, the prophetic scriptures are even above that in proving who he is. We have a more sure word of prophecy. Let's show an example of this. Let's see them use the prophets being used to prove who he is. See, because you got a lot of people saying they're the Christ. That has happened in the times of old. That even happens today. People walking around saying they are the one. They are the anointed. They are the Christ. They are the Messiah. But how do you know who the Messiah is? Again, you go back to the scriptures. This is a peace to you, sister Miss J. Peace to you. This is Matthew the 2nd chapter and verse 1. It says, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. So this at the time of his birth, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? We have seen his star in the east and I come to worship him. So now they saw a star, they come from the east and they come to worship the Messiah. They know he's born, but then it says something in verse 3. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled and all Jerusalem with him, right? He was a megalomaniac and he looked at this as a threat to his power. And so peace to you, Brother Leo, and Mo, peace to you, Brother Mo, peace to you. So it says, and when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. So he wanted to know. And how did he know where he was born? It said, and they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written. By the what? By the prophet. So they know where he's born because the prophet already told you where he was born. They quote Micah here. It says, now, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah, art not thou the least among the princes of Judah? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. See, he couldn't be born in Chicago. Okay, he couldn't be born in Rome. He couldn't be born in Nairobi. He had to be born in Bethlehem. He couldn't even be born in Jerusalem. He had to be born in Bethlehem. Why? Because the prophets were told of that. So when you see something contrary to that, then you say, wait a minute, this is not the Messiah. But when you look at the scriptures and you see the life of Jesus, you know he is the Messiah. So concerning who he is or who the Messiah is and identification, the prophecy, the prophetic scriptures are exalted. And with that, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that we're at the House of the Faith meet every Sabbath at 5925 West 25th Avenue in Gary, Indiana at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We live stream right here on the YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel. the Israel Teach YouTube channel, as well as at www.israelteach.org. If you have been edified through this ministry and would like to leave a donation, give me 1 second, brothers and sisters. If you, give me 1 second, I'm making some of you brothers moderators. I appreciate you, Brother Leo. Peace to you. You all praise the Most High, brother. Brother Isaiah. What was that? Oh yeah. If you've been edified through the ministry and would like to leave a donation, you can do so at our website, www.israelteach.org. 100% of the proceeds go to the work of the ministry. We appreciate all those who have donated. We truly do. Let me say this. We also have Bible study throughout the week. We have Bible study every Wednesday night. Usually those are topical studies. We go in depth with history and things like that. That's every Wednesday on Zoom at 7 p.m. And if you look at the description of this video, you'll see the personal meeting ID number for the Zoom Bible study. And that is the personal meeting ID number for our Wednesday 7 o'clock Bible study. That's Wednesday 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Personal meeting ID number is 845-710-8849. Again, the personal meeting ID number is 845-710-8849. Okay. We also have Bible study every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that personal meeting ID number is 602-961-1318. Again, that number is 602-961-1318. That's if you have questions, that'd be the perfect place to ask your questions. That's the place you want to do that. Just to answer your question quickly, we're not really concerned. I'm not concerned with what they believe. They're not legitimate. I know what the Bible says, what the scriptures say. They don't believe in the scriptures. Many of them uphold the Talmud, which is satanic. So I really don't care what they think. I'll give them no legitimacy whatsoever based on scripture, based on history. So I'm not concerned with what their thoughts are. There are books that are available that I've written. We got to get out of that for real. We will uphold. And it's not me jumping on the brother, but I just want to say this. It's funny how we'll say something and prove it and through history and in the Bible and our own people giving no credence. But then you'll have somebody of another nation say something like Israel is a black people and they'll get 1 million views. I don't care what they think. I don't care what anybody thinks. I care what thus saith the Lord. I know what the scriptures say. So I'm not worried about them. But nevertheless, there's books that I've written about the subject. Into Egypt Again with Ships. Pagan Origins of Christian Holidays, Hell Like Wolf, Feet Like Burned Brass, Killing Black Innocents, For Then Shall Be Great Tribulation, and In Defense of Biblical Polygyny. All these books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other places where books are sold. Brothers and sisters, so is my prayer that you are edified.